Um, I told you I've never done this before, right?
Yeah, you're cool. I'm
Okay.
I'm chill.
So, okay. Yeah, not quite sure how to start this, but I figured I would just watch you play a couple games, maybe let you sort of walk me through your thought process for every move. Um,
Ca-
or as many as is comfortable.
As I can, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't get the chance to look at as many of your games as I wanted to. I only watched a couple videos on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, definitely. Those are kind of fun. I just recently
Hmm.
started doing that and I've been liking it, so
That's cool.
just wanna continue with it, you know. Maybe in a couple of years it'll grow to something, but just kind of a fun little hobby right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
That's exciting.
yeah, thanks, man. Since I'm gonna be like commentating and just kind of thinking out loud, I'll probably play a 5+3, just so I
That's
have
perfect.
yeah a little bit of increment to kind of think, you know.
Yeah.
Because I usually play in blitz, so.
Hmm. Yeah, whatever you normally play
Oh,
or longer is probably good.
cool. What's your username on Lee Chess so I can add you as a friend before we start?
I am Leonard 8209, and let me type that out for you.
I think I found you.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, cool, cool, cool. All right, I will follow you. I think is that how you become friends?
Yeah, I don't know if there are friends. I'm following you already, and I guess
Cool. All right, I think it worked.
you can. Yeah, yeah. If you just want to start a game whenever,
Okay, cool.
I should be able to view it.
Cool. All right, we're jumping
Or
in
if you
now.
want to,
All right, so if they don't play e4, I've often struggled in the past like with what to play, but since
mhm.
like I'd say as a week ago, I've been playing the Dutch. If they don't play e4, I play the Dutch. If they do play e4, I have a variety of different moves that I play. So here I'm just gonna play knight to g6, and I'm just gonna look for a classical Dutch setup.
What's a classical Dutch setup like? If you
Just
have time to explain.
yeah. So oh, you can't actually see my screen. You can't see my arrows,
Huh.
can you?
Are you? Oh no, I can watch your stream.
Yeah,
Perfect. Are you drawing? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can
yeah.
see you now.
So here I would do this. I don't really want
Hmm.
to pin myself, but I don't really know what else to do. So I'm just going to continue with the theory I know and try and develop this bishop behind. Yeah, see, I didn't want to develop my queen here, but I don't really want to destroy my pawn structure either because I want to castle kingside.
Hmm.
So I think here I'm just going to look to kick his knight away. Uh, this is another move I know that's usually played in the Dutch. And then yeah, I'm going to develop my bishop here and look to castle. So now that I've castled, I know another common theme is if he doesn't fianchetto his light squared bishop, I should probably fianchetto mine. So I just want to like make sure that I'm not hanging anything before I put my light, because I want this light squared bishop pointing at the king. Yeah, see, this is where I feel that I'm weakest. I've gotten out of the opening, I haven't blundered anything, but now, you know, he pushes here, and so my first thought is I don't really want to take because then it opens up this light squared weakness. I'm thinking of pushing, that way I can just kind of clamp down on the d4 and e4 squares. And I think that's what I'm going to do. The only reason I don't like this move is now I'm kind of like, well, what am I doing fianchettoing my bishop, you know? Kind of seems stupid. But I do like this pressure I have here, and my queen's over here, so if he castles kingside, I should have a decent attack. I'm thinking of an f4 break with maybe a light squared attack after some movement. So that just looks like a developing move by his end. Not really sure what to do here. I think I'm going to try and... Well, I don't know. I want to develop this piece, the knight. I think I'm going to actually get my king off this diagonal before I start anything. Okay, so two moves I'm thinking. I can move my queen here, attacking the g2 pawn. Or I could try and break open the center because he's not castled and I'm tucked away. And then after takes, he doesn't really have anything. Whereas if I move here, I feel like I'm going to move the queen first and then play for f4 and bring in my bishop. Oh man. Okay, so he's blocking me from taking g2. If I trade, I'm just winning a pawn. Does he have any tricks? I think I'm just winning a pawn here. Oh, I'm playing really low. I'm really low on time too because I'm trying to commentate, so I might try and play a little bit quicker.
I was just gonna say that I don't want to throw you off what you normally do.
Okay.
If you're playing slower, then don't worry about commentating. As long as you can remember your ideas after the game and tell me after.
That would be good. Yeah. Okay.
That would be perfect. Yeah.
I think I would be able to. I'm definitely playing slower. I'm usually up on time, although he's playing extremely quick.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll mention some stuff if I think of it, but
yeah.
Till then, I'm just gonna kind of keep doing me. Ooh, castles here would be great for me. Or actually, no, he's got this move. Do I take the pawn or do I pressure the queen? I think I take the pawn. Yeah, this looks like a really nice move. If he's not careful. I'd welcome a queen. Okay, he does see it. I'd welcome a queen trade here. If I check him, I'm just winning. No, I'm queen trading. If I check him, he'll block. He won't give me his other rook. But I'll take that. I'm low on time and I'm up 2 pawns. Let's play this, just so I can have light square control. Okay, I'm fine with that. It's undefended though. The more trades, the better, because I'm up 2 pawns, so I should have a better end game as long as I don't blunder it away. Okay, I guess we're trading everything. Okay, I have 1 isolated pawn, which kind of scares me. Oh, never mind. I'm just blundering. I blundered a pawn. Let's attack his pawn. Darn, I would have rather him taken that one because that one was connected. That would have been better for me. I think the plan here is to gain some kingside space and maybe walk up with my king. But I don't want to get forked with the knight. So that's a dangerous square. Dang it, I blundered another pawn. Well. I'm playing too passive. Yeah, I feel like I'm at a weakness because he's been like picking off all my pieces with his knight, so I'm not going to play with knights on the board anymore. I'm definitely losing in that regard. Okay, let's attack this piece, or this pawn. Let's check him, see if I can gain more king space. This is weak. We'll move up to defend it. This is not good. He could take. No, he can't. He can't. It's defended. Okay, if I check him, no, he could step up, but he can't ever take back. Hmm. Yeah, I don't really have a plan. I'm not. I guess I'm not a very good end game player because I'm kind of just moving around. I guess I should be trying to attack this weakness as well. But now I've created. He has an advantage on me, so 3 pawn swing as soon as we traded off pieces. Let's push. I think I'm gonna take this chance to get my king up here. It's risky though, because he could, if he can like somehow trade off, he's just gonna walk in and win the game. Hopefully he just like makes a silly move. Okay. I'm just thinking push. Try and play for these two, I guess. I think right now objectively I'm drawn. Oh, this is winning a pawn. If he plays something silly, yeah. I think that's what I'm playing for right now, is a draw. Okay, do I push here? Push, takes. Or if I push, he pushes. Either way, it's deadlocked. And he's probably going to have an easier time getting to my back line. I also forgot we were playing with increment, so I'm not in as much time trouble as I thought I was. See if I can get the king to like move away. Or like move down, that would be super nice. Man, he's just kind of resigned to play around here. I don't really know. I don't really see a way for me to break through right now. I guess I'm kind of playing for a draw unless he makes a mistake. Yeah, and which I'd probably be happy with because I think I'm lost in this endgame. If he wants to repeat moves, I'm fine with that. He'd have to blunder pretty substantially for me to beat his pawn advantage. Cool, I'll claim a draw. Alright, well, that's my first game, I guess. I feel like I'm beat. Honestly, I feel like if I was white, maybe it's not. Yeah, it has him slightly favored until I could claim draw, but before that, it says he has like, yeah, if he gets his rook behind, he has chances to, yeah, it has him up plus 2.8. Alright, well, I've been talking a lot. Do you want to watch another one, or do you want to talk about this one? What do you want to do?
I guess that's up to you. Maybe I think it would be better to look at this one while your thoughts about it are still fresher, and maybe mine are as well.
Cool. Alright, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. If you want to, actually, I think it might be nicer to look at it in a study. I think there's more we can do.
Okay, I've never used this before, so this is cool.
Oh, this will be fun, I think.
Yeah. Okay, how do I... Yep, open this.
Okay. Maybe this won't work out too well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to invite you to be a member of the study. That way you will be able to make moves as well. It says you don't accept study invitations.
Give me a sec. Let me play with my settings.
Oh, never mind. I think it worked.
It worked?
Yeah, do you want to see if you can make a couple moves? See if they show up?
Okay, it's like giving me a ton of next, like how to use everything. Okay, yeah, it worked.
Perfect. Perfect. So this should keep us all in the same position. We'll be able to see each other's moves and arrows and everything. Great. Okay. So I think the best approach for me is just to figure out what your weaknesses are and sort of how you can improve that. But I definitely want you to like bring a lot of self-reflection. Like if you think you've got a weakness or something, definitely bring that up
Okay.
as well.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
you mentioned during the game after the opening, you said you felt pretty weak.
Yeah, so I mean, if you watch the first couple, so he doesn't throw any surprises at me. I think until like move 5 or 6. I feel like, I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of chess. I have a decent, yeah, everything right here. I mean, this was pretty strange. I've never seen that before. That little maneuver where he elected to trade off his dark squared bishop for my knight.
Gotcha.
And I didn't want to destroy this pawn structure, so that's why I took with the queen. But I thought, so this was kind of new, but I didn't feel like, I wasn't like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. It was more, okay, he doesn't know what he's doing, right? Those are my thoughts during the opening, right?
Yeah.
But then once I castle, I'd say I'm kind of like, all right, I have a vague plan. Yeah, so like right here, I have plans, but he doesn't always do what I can't anticipate what he's going to do. And so sometimes, like in the game I talked about, I'm going to Finchetto my light squared bishop, and then he played something that blocked me, and I was like, well, you know what I mean? I kind of lost. Yeah, right here I'm like, well, what do I do? You know what I mean? I didn't have a clear objective anymore. And I feel like that's a big weakness of mine, is I get lost in the mid game of what was I trying to do, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what one of the videos I watched that you put out was like, I think it might have been like 4 things. Let me see.
Oh,
I think the video is like four opening principles you have to know.
Yeah.
And so it was all like, if I'm remembering right, I think you had all of the like good ideas. It was like controlling the center, getting your king safe. If I'm remembering right, there wasn't too much explanation why those were good things. Like why developing your pieces is more important, or why getting your king castled is generally important in the opening.
Yeah, I mean,
So
definitely, yeah, I would agree with that.
okay, so that's what I'm thinking might be a similar issue here, where you know what normal moves in the Dutch are. You've watched a lot of people play the Dutch. You've played the Dutch a lot. You know what the normal moves are, and maybe you have trouble taking advantage of things when your opponent sort of goes off the script.
Yeah, exact. That's 100% where I stand. That is very.
Okay.
That's very good. That's me in a nutshell. I definitely.
Cool.
When he does something I don't expect, I can't punish him for it.
Gotcha.
Like he didn't castle until move 20 or something, and move 15, and I couldn't take advantage of that. Right? That should be bad, but I can't punish, type of thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't. Did he even castle this game?
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even remember.
I hope I'm.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, didn't even castle.
Right. So like,
Yeah.
if you were to ask me as a chess player, yeah, not castling, is that an advantage or a disadvantage? I'd say that's a huge disadvantage. But I draw this game because I can't punish that mistake. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's interesting. That's good to be aware of. Another thing I noticed. Let me see if I can remember what move you were talking about it. At some point, you had this great idea. I want to play f4. Bring in my bishop and sort of attack on the king side.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything super concrete, but they were good ideas as far as I could tell. It might have been around here. Do you remember?
Yeah. Because the reason I had this plan is because I'm like, well, I don't want to Finchetto into a pawn that's defended twice and could be, you know what I mean? So I think this is right where I had the idea, but I don't remember what I did. I don't think I did it. I didn't do it.
Yeah, I thought it was it was kind of funny. Like you had an idea, and I think it was a pretty good one. Especially, um, well, I liked it because you were going to try and break things open while the king was in the center. Um, but it wasn't. Uh, but a couple more moves until you were thinking about playing C6, and like, how can I?
It's like I forgot about it, didn't I?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. Or maybe not forgot, or just changed your mind or something, or like noticed something else.
Right. Yeah,
So
it's
I'm not. Yeah.
that's
What were
exactly
you gonna
what
say?
that's exactly what happened. Is I noticed something else, and it's like my old plan was completely out the window.
Gotcha. Um. Okay. So that was a little bit further on in the game. Let me think.
So let's talk about this. I mean, I was right here, right? He's just blundering pawns. Like I'm clearly better, aren't I?
I think so.
And it's just
Yeah.
like it's amazing to me how I just throw it away. Like I do this a lot in games too.
Throw it away. Just. Sorry. What do you mean?
So I think like objectively from this point, sorry. Yeah, right here where I make the decision to
Mhm.
queen trade, right?
Yeah.
The reason I made that decision is I was up 2 pawns. So in my mind I thought, well, I have a better end game. It suits me to trade off the heavy pieces, right? That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking at least. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I went ahead and did that and then went on to blunder 3 pawns. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Um. Yeah. Well. Hanging the 3 pawns is that is separate from deciding to go into the end game. Um. What was? I totally lost my train of thought. Why? You brought up the queen trade because you're in a good position here, right?
I felt my position was stronger. I have lots of
Yeah.
kingside. I got lots of space. I'm up pawns. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I agree with that. So I think you made the right decision there to trade queens.
Uh huh.
Um, because okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. This is another. I feel like you are super principled or like aware of principles. I remember in one of your videos, the bishop pair comeback. You got the 2 bishops, and you were like, "This is great. I have the 2 bishops." Here you're up 2 pawns, so you go into the end game.
Right.
Let me try and figure out where I'm going with this. So you know the principles. Um, you're aware of them, and you try to achieve those things. But maybe you're not sure what to do once you achieve something, once you get an advantage.
Yeah.
Or am I trying to?
No, I think that's fair. I think I gain a small advantage, but then converting that advantage is difficult. Like I know why I'm better. I know that I should be winning, but oftentimes I feel like I'm not. Right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So that makes me think a couple of things you could work on are um, trying to find concrete lines, concrete like calculations, maybe more than a few moves deep, to try and get to a better position. Maybe rather than let me find this again. what am I trying to say? I'm so sorry about this.
It's all good.
Yeah.
So it's like, try and find. I don't know. You feel like my calculations are very short term. Like I don't ever calculate 2 or 3 moves. Like the most I calculate is 2 or 3 moves deep. Is that what I'm getting from you?
I think so. Yeah, yeah. Or yeah. You have things you want to achieve in the game. Like I want a kingside attack. At some point, I want to play f4, bishop c4, and I don't know, knight d7, for example.
Right.
And then as soon as you notice something else, it's a different plan.
Yeah.
No, that's not quite what I wanted to say. You never made a calculation here. I think you just picked out good-looking moves.
And called that my plan.
Okay, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. That's
Yeah.
true. I found moves that I'm like, okay, this looks good, but then I never actually calculated whether it was or not, and then I didn't do it because I didn't know.
Yes. I think that is exactly what that's exactly what we're seeing. I don't remember. Maybe at this point in the game, you had already tried to save some time and stopped commentating so much, but I don't think um, you ever even. Well, yeah, I'm just speculating, but I don't know if you ever even like looked at what would happen after this exchange. Like if you played f4, did you look at what happens if
If you
white
take,
captures? What happens if white pushes?
nope, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I definitely have a weakness in calculation then.
Sure. And so, yeah, at this point, I'm just sort of telling you ideas as I think of them, or trying to neatly assess what's happening.
Right?
So there's more that I'm thinking about, but I don't want to like throw too many things at you that may or may not even be true in many of your games.
Right.
Is there anything else that stood out to you in this game?
Yeah, something else I want to talk about is.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the move order. Where am I? Am I in a subline?
Yeah, it looks like it. Let me get you. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Right here. If we could just walk through this to the end of the game,
Yeah.
I think would be nice because I feel like I played the end game very, very poorly.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I lost my advantage, and only because I played concrete at the end and because he didn't push for an advantage, that's why I drew the game. I think if I was playing against myself, I would have lost. After throwing that big of a lead, I would have beaten myself because I feel like I would have been able to convert his position. I don't know why he took a draw, right?
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay.
So I feel like the queen trade was okay. And then, yeah, I think this move right here was an oversight. I don't know. What do you... Like, here I think I should probably take, because this pawn is pinned, so I'm just winning 2 more pawns, right? But I don't...
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, is that your assessment? Because if he takes here, I have it defended, right? And I didn't even think of that in the game.
Yeah, that was your original idea, was to play d6 so that if white ever wanted to activate his bishop, he would have to do it at the cost of activating your knight. So, that was the point of playing it, was you had it defended by the knight.
So this bishop move is terrible, isn't it? When I finketo him here?
I wouldn't want to go that far. There are better moves in the position, surely. And I think your bishop is maybe covering some important squares? Do you remember why you played bishop b7?
Yes, to defend this pawn that was already defended.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
I remember that's why I
yeah.
played it, and that's why I felt like it was such a poor move. is
Okay.
is because it was redundant.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, I totally agree with you then. Sorry about that.
I also
Yeah.
wasn't aware of the fact that it was, these important squares. I wasn't aware of the fact that it had a job here on c8. It was doing its job defending these squares.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And although I do think, you know, these are maybe more important. So this was probably a better diagonal in the end. But yeah, the bishop was active enough, and it didn't need to be defending the pawn, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it got active again, for sure.
But here I allow him to take on f4, whereas
Yeah,
I should have been taking.
yeah. So I guess that was the only
I lost
downside
the
of bishop b7.
Yeah, I lost the tempo.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Man, and I wasn't even aware of that during the game. And what do you think about this move right here?
The one we're on?
Yeah, where rook captures pawn. Should I have taken with the pawn or the rook?
I think. Well, so at this point, you're forcing a trade. Either the rook. If the rook moves away, you're winning a piece. So
Right.
that was a good way to force a trade.
It's at the cost of isolating my d pawn, though. And then I wasn't able to defend it later because I was just kind of moving around.
Yeah, yeah. But hmm, having. Let me think here. I think eventually it. I don't think it's so bad to isolate your d pawn. You would have had a very hard time pushing it anyways. Um, there's already. Let me think. Yeah, I mean even after rook rook d1, I don't know if you can even do anything about this. If you push it, there's so much
Yeah,
covering. This even loses a
a
piece.
rook, yeah. Hmm.
Um,
So let me ask you a question here. So after this move, right?
yeah.
So right here, I have the better center. Would you agree or no? He has some light squared pieces, excuse me. He has light square pressure here with his bishop, and he has
Hmm.
his knight covering some squares. But I have two pawns here. Would you say that? Who would you say in this position has a better center? Because I feel whoever controls the center is usually has the better. I don't know. Has a better chance of winning in the late game, right? Or should I not
Yeah.
even be focusing on that anymore once we hit the end game? You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm asking? I didn't phrase
I
that
think
very
so.
well.
No, I think that's all right. Let me try to answer, and then you can see if I understood correctly. So I think you're saying control of the center is very important throughout the game, because if you control the center, you'll be able to position your pieces more effectively and control the game more.
I would agree with that. Yeah, that'd be my assessment.
Um, yeah, sweet. So you're sort of wondering if it's still something you should be focusing on throughout the game, or if there are other like more important things to worry about.
Yeah.
Okay. It can't ever hurt to control the center, I'm sure. But at this point, so you got into the end game for what reason? It was your
Pawn advantage. I was up two
extra.
pawns.
Yeah. So I think this actually goes back to the other stuff we were thinking about. You know, a two pawn advantage is important. Like that's a principle you're aware of.
Right.
You've achieved that, and now you need to convert it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your two extra pawns are your H and your G pawns, if you want to think about it that way.
Yeah. They are.
So converting that advantage is going to be pushing them up the board. Your goal to help you with that, you still want to trade more pieces. I think you want to trade off as much as possible, because the closer you get to just one king and two pawns versus the king, the closer you're going to be to winning, the easier it will be to win. So if controlling the center helps you with that, which I think it does, if if white has to maneuver around a blockade, then you should have an easier time. But maybe... Are you agreeing with this? I'm kind of
No, you said
trying to
something.
make...
You said something really important. So my pawn advantage is right here. I have two connected passed pawns.
Yeah.
At this point in the stage, I knew I was up two pawns. But if you would have asked me, so which two pawns are you up? Right? I had no clue. Right? I was
sure.
like the fact that you identified your advantage is right here on G and H. I had no clue. I thought my advantage was here, D and E. Right?
Okay.
So this is a flaw. I was not aware that my advantage is pushing here. Because it is, isn't it? I have two connected passed pawns. What's he going to do?
I think so. Yeah, the G pawn's not quite passed yet, I don't think, but the H pawn is.
Oh, yeah. I see
But
what you're saying.
yeah, for sure.
So a better plan in this position would have been this move, huh? Because it forces his rook to move off this dark square. Right?
Yeah. Oh well, it's tough to say because this isn't. If it's your if it's your move here.
Oh, it's not even my.
G4.
Yeah, it's not even my move. It's his move.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, G4 is not a good. Never mind. It wasn't even my move. I was on the wrong side.
Could still be a good, an important position to look at, but yeah, it's tough because all this seemed pretty forcing. There was a lot of exchanges.
Well, and that's a common theme I see with these mid tiers, 1500 to 1400, right? Is a lot of our games kind of stall for 2-3 minutes, and then the last minute is very, very, very forcing. Everyone plays very forcing moves and forcing trades, and it's kind of hard not to get sucked into it. Do you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Because I think we make 4 trades here in the next 5 moves. You know, we trade off all these pieces.
Yeah. What is it?
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, let's just trade the whole kitchen sink, right? And it's like, why am I even like, okay, I think trading's good here, but like,
yeah,
like you said, it was a very forcing line that I was like, okay, let's do it, you know?
Yeah. That example of so many trades, that I think is something you could have maybe started to calculate and evaluate a later position.
Because this gives him
makes sense.
This gives him a very good knight, a monster knight. Like he's covering so many squares, right? Whereas my knight isn't even developed, so. But I kind of had to trade when he made this move. I didn't want to give up the rook.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how good a move this is. Because you wanted to trade into an endgame. You're ready to play G4, G5, H5, develop your knight, bring the rook in.
I developed the knight first. I was unaware. I blundered this pawn.
Yeah. So that was just, do you remember what you were thinking about here?
Yeah, I do. So on this move, I was thinking, wow, his knight is in the middle of the board and so much stronger than mine. I need to get my knight in the middle of the board as soon as possible to contest this knight. This knight's pressure. and by so doing, I just dropped a pawn, which was,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah.
I'm underdeveloped. My rook's caged in. I've got to get going, or I'm going to get beat. But I got
makes
beat
sense.
by doing so. It led to the downfall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, too focused on
Well, the move
on other things.
the move I was scared of was this one. Right? If I save this pawn,
Oh yeah,
he kills my
I
rook.
didn't even look at that.
But so maybe this isn't such a bad blunder, but yeah, I was really
Yeah.
nervous. I was really nervous about his knight just killing. Like, because if I lose this rook, it's game over. I can't.
Oh yeah.
I'd have
I
to.
totally missed that. And knight d7 is probably one of the best moves in the position. So now we come back to here.
I should have been looking at all of this from this position, though, huh? Instead of, oh, here it is, look at it now, type of thing.
Exactly. Yeah. I think so. That's what the forcing lines are very. They're a lot easier to calculate, right?
Because he has. If I take this bishop, he has to take. Or, you know,
Pretty much.
yeah. Or he's lost.
So, yeah, as soon as he plays bishop d5, you can immediately evaluate this position.
I see.
You can. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So this move was a really good move. Him making this move was really good for him because it allows him to win this pawn. And I don't think
Well,
I don't.
only if you capture.
Oh, I guess it's true because I'm defending it. Ah, I see.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you though. I told
No,
you that you were
no.
going to say something else.
I'm very much an interrupting person, so don't feel bad at all for interrupting me.
Okay.
So the mistake was taking. I blundered
I
this.
believe so.
I blundered this pawn by taking, not by moving the knight.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
I wasn't aware of that.
I didn't even realize until just now.
Huh, that's so I definitely think, yeah, my calculation is not good. It's not done very deep. I calculate
Sure.
here, right? And then I stop looking, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, you could be amazing at calculating and you just maybe decide too early on in your calculation whether the move is good or not.
Hey, bro,
I can't.
I gotta mute for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah,
Someone's
take your
at
time.
yeah, someone's at my door. Sorry, have you been waiting long?
Sorry, we ring the doorbell. I didn't know.
It doesn't work.
Oh.
That's why I looked out the window. I was like, is someone at our door?
Yeah.
So, this is Luke.
Nice to meet you, Luke.
You guys are too kind for offering to come to us.
Oh, no, of course. I can't even imagine, like, how busy and stressed you would be.
Well, we've kind of been having a little bit of a lazy Saturday, haven't we?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. With not nearly as many exams. It's been nice.
I know, we didn't do anything today. Kenzie and I hung out. I haven't done much. But we made we went to the farmer's market and got, like, all these, like, soup packets. So it's, like, a chicken Alfredo soup, and then French bread, and then, like, a Caesar salad. But I just left the dressing, like, in the packet. So if you guys didn't want it. Yeah, of course.
How are you feeling after?
I'm good.
I felt so bad for you because.
I know, it was
Do you have
so
to go
embarrassing.
make that up still?
Yeah, I'm
that
gonna do it
sucks.
during
I'm
class
sorry.
Tuesday. It's okay.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, Dr. O was really nice about it. I was like gonna do it, but I was just feeling really shaky still, so.
Yeah, no.
So, but we traveled so fast in the class, and
Well, I watched you come up and talk to her, and so I asked. I was like,
Oh.
"Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong?"
yeah. Well, Dr. Narina called 911 instead of like internal, and she called she called 911, the code blue and hung up.
Well,
So that's why everyone, like, all the police showed up and everything.
she thought you died.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really embarrassing. Yeah. Well. Oh,
He's our
he's
little
so
guy.
sweet.
He's
Yeah,
what,
he's very like
20?
mild mannered.
Very much
Oh,
so.
yeah, he doesn't cry
That's
much.
good.
Only
Unless-
cries when he's hungry.
Unless he's hungry, but then he cries quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Have you had any sleepless nights?
Last night wasn't fun.
No.
We had to eat about every 2 hours.
Yeah,
So that
I was
was
up at
great.
4 holding.
Yeah.
No.
But I think he's been doing good. Didn't eat for about 4.5 hours.
Yeah,
So we
so
got a
you
good
gotta
nap in there.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, he's so sweet. He's a good baby.
We love him.
We think he's pretty cute
Right.
too.
Yeah, he's really cute.
You guys got any plans tonight?
We haven't eaten dinner yet, so we're gonna maybe like go like get something or whatever. I don't know yet. Hang with our dog,
Yeah.
chill. Chase was hanging out with his buddies last night, and then I don't know. I like
Yes.
chill weekend.
We're boring. We just stay home and hang out. So.
Yeah, I feel you. That's how we are too. Did you guys live here last year? This place? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. That's nice. It's cute. It's like close to school.
It's quaint, yeah. It's cheap too.
That's
It's
really
like
nice.
$800.
That's awesome.
I hate this door. The fact that we share it with. It's like, why not just make? They made 3 doors instead of 2.
Yeah.
And 2 would have been more private.
Yeah, because that is like the idea.
Yeah, and you always judge your neighbor. You always think your neighbor's dirty. It's loud, right? So
Yeah.
we have a lot of that, but
Well, it's nice at least they have like nice like food things to try and everything.
yeah, it's good for now, right?
Yeah.
One day we'll be rich, right?
Um,
Right now we're not.
That's okay.
Someday
You'll
we
look
can
back
have a
on these
nice house.
days and things will be like, it'll be good memories.
Right.
Well, we'll let you guys get to it.
Yeah,
Let me know
we're
how
hungry.
much.
We're
Yeah,
grateful.
of course. There should be leftovers, so hopefully that makes it easy on you too.
You guys are the
Thank you so
best.
much.
Yeah.
Take care. Try and have a nice weekend. See you guys. Yeah. Alright, I'm on this phone call with this guy still, but help yourself.
You were in.
Why?
That.
Why? I did something bad? Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, you there?
Yes.
Sorry about that. Someone showed up at my door. So
No worries. Is
it wa-
everything all right?
Yeah, it was. So my wife and I just had a baby, and some friends brought us some dinner. But I just, I was like, oh, I just had to stop and say hi to him for 5 minutes. So I do apologize
Yeah.
for that.
No, you're fine. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. All right. But with that, I completely lost our train of thought.
That's fine. I have to admit, I might have done the same. So, is there anything else that you remember standing out about this game?
Just the very end game. Once we trade off knights. Yeah, darn. This is just frustrating to watch. Like, I'm just throwing away pieces. Or I'm throwing away my advantage, you know what I mean? And I think
Yeah.
the reason I'm doing that is because I'm not aware that this is where my advantage is.
Are you still thinking of this D pawn as what you should be focusing on?
I am. Yeah, I'm.
Oh, okay.
Well, and it's kind of changed because now that I've lost the F pawn, now I have a glaring weakness. I need to protect it and defend it instead of push my advantage.
Oh, okay. I see. I see.
'Cause
Yeah.
I recognize this is an isolated D pawn. I recognize that it's behind, and I'm like, holy cow, how can I defend this? Whereas I should be thinking, who cares? He can have the D pawn if I get a queen out of it.
Yeah.
Or actually, probably this guy.
And yeah, and of course that's not to say ignore the D pawn, but I absolutely agree with what you said. Yeah. It's still, yeah.
I think at
It's still a
another,
tough position.
yeah, it is a tough position. I think at some other point, I get him to advance this pawn, and I recognize B2 as a weakness, but I'm not quite sure how to take advantage of that. I don't not from
Yeah.
this position, but a couple moves later.
It was.
Yeah,
I remember.
after the knights have been traded off, I recognize this as a
Mm-hmm.
weakness, but I'm like, how do I like infiltrate, right?
Yeah. And we're getting into territory I'm not great with. Endgames are not something I'm super super sound on. But as far as I know, piece activity and king activity becomes super important. The best thing I can think of you doing is like putting your rook on an open file and trying to get down to the 7th rank or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, the 7th rank, because that's where the weakness is
Right.
that you correctly identified.
So would it be fair to say that I need to bring my king? So I guess I'm keeping my king over here to protect my h pawn. But then I don't know. I also like end up using my king as like a barricade kind of later
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
I try and race to the center again.
Yeah, and that is probably the right thing to do. Getting your king active rather than passively defending the h pawn, just like the rook was pretty passively defending. Here.
The c pawn.
Yeah, like your rook is a lot better than white's rook in this position. You're attacking a pawn that must be defended by a piece, so that's very good. This is all reasonable. Yeah, put your rook on a file where you can attack something. Maybe rook e8 is actually better here. But
Yeah,
I think
'cause he
once
can-
you get down to the rook endgame, yeah.
Yeah, because he just defends. Yeah, okay. Because now I've infiltrated.
Yeah, but again, this is like too complicated for me. Once
Yeah.
both the rooks get active,
A lot to
it's
calculate.
very hard to. I mean, I don't even know what.
It's probably not even winning. So that's a good time to stop and really calculate, huh?
I think so. I think so. Yeah, yeah. Evaluate the position. Well, before the knight trade might be a good time to evaluate. Am I going to be successful in this game if I don't get to use my knight anymore? Maybe?
I remember why I traded. I said he is killing me with his knight. Do you remember me saying that?
Oh, yeah.
I
That
said-
was like right after a couple pawns got nabbed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his knight was killing me. And I said
Yeah.
I don't want to lose because he's better at using his knight than me.
Gotcha.
That's why I traded. So I didn't. It was an
Yeah,
emotional reason is why I traded.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Cause like I have some discoveries, right? I have
Yeah,
my
your
knight's
knight's pretty.
It's not that bad a piece right here. Like it controls a lot of squares, but I make an emotional decision. Yeah, I make an emotional decision. Okay, he's killing me with his knight. I'm just gonna get it off the board, and I don't know. It certainly didn't help me, because all it does is bring his king closer to the center, and mine's still on the 8th rank.
That's yeah. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I think I got frazzled. I don't know how to explain it, but at this point, after blundering these two pawns, I panicked.
You didn't have a. Did you have a plan at this point?
It was gone. My advantage is gone. I was just hanging on for dear life, kind of.
Gotcha.
I think while I was, because if we were to listen to my, I'm like, oh my gosh, I just blundered another pawn. Okay, I'm just gonna get the knights off the board, so I stopped blundering pieces. Right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly what I was
Like,
thinking.
Almost verbatim. That's like, yeah.
Instead of, okay, I gave up a pawn. Is there still a way for me to win this game? Instead of being strategic like I had been all game, I became very emotional. because I want
Gotcha.
to win, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
I'm very competitive, but I don't know how to help with that. I'm not really aware of that while I'm playing either, you know.
Yeah, and it's hard to be, I'm sure. Um, yeah, I think yeah. Somehow you have to just look at the position objectively, like not even think about the last. The moves in the past don't really matter. All that's important is the position that you're in at the moment. So maybe you can like try and focus on that idea more.
Yeah. So for example, let's take this position right here cuz this is a complex position. And instead of taking the knight, I feel like taking the knight here is not that great because I'm allowing his king to push up faster than mine. So the cost of getting his knight off the board is not really all that impressive. Some of
Hmm.
my some of the other moves I was considering are, well, the first one I thought of was rook to e8,
Hmm.
just so I could have like a discovery to try and win a pawn, right?
Gotcha.
But if
Yeah.
I go here, he takes. Now do I take with the pawn or the rook? Probably the pawn to gain a tempo. And then after, see, I don't know where he's gonna go. I don't even know how to calculate. If it were
Oh yeah, yeah.
if it were me, I'd probably go here, but I don't know what he's gonna do. So I feel like that's another reason I struggle to calculate is I don't know what he's gonna do here,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah. I see. Um, you don't. Let me think. So I want to say you don't really need to know what you don't need to know what white what your opponent is going to play. I think you just need to find the best moves for white to play. Because if he plays a move you didn't think was best, then you get the chance to try and you'll have to calculate more,
Yeah, it resets the
but try and punish it.
calculation. Yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah, but I guess if you can think of a line where if you find a move and all the best moves for your opponent after that have like if they all lead to a better position for you, then that's a good move you've found.
Well, I feel that this position is better for me than the one I got. Would you agree?
I think so.
Because
Your
now
rook is yeah.
I'm forcing him to move, and now I gain some time that I can potentially move my king closer. I think that's what I would do next, is try and get my king closer.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, and
It's hard to attack
like I'm saying,
these,
endgames are
yeah, without getting on
yeah,
the second rank, because, yeah, if I just move over, he just steps up, right? Wherever I go,
yeah,
he can just step up and always defend himself.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, and we're getting into endgames that I this is where I don't know. Um,
They're hard, man. They're really
yeah,
hard.
yeah. Well, so I bet endgames would be a great thing for you to study because if you can figure out the principles of like where to put your rooks, where to put your king, then I think you'll have a great time trying to implement those ideas.
Do
So
you do you watch? I find that YouTube's probably the best way that I learn because it's easy, right? Show up and watch their
yeah,
video and they explain it. Do you know anyone
yeah.
that who do you watch? Do you watch anyone, or what would you suggest to how would I go about studying end games? Because buying a book and just doing it on my board here at home, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot harder than just watching a grandmaster
Yeah,
tell me how to do it. You know?
yeah. John Bartholomew, I think, has a couple very good endgame videos. I think he has a few. Um, I'm sure if you
Yeah, I've watched him
just look up,
before. I've
yeah,
never I've never looked up his end games though. But if he had a, he's very instructive.
Absolutely.
End game fundamentals.
Game fundamentals.
Oh yeah, he has.
Oh, I guess these are just. Yeah, we're getting to a point where this is exactly what I need to be studying too, and I am very worried I won't be able to help you
That's
very
a,
much. Or yeah.
I feel like you've been very helpful already. So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you
That's
what
good
did
advice.
you take away from this game?
From this game?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel that I am a much stronger player than my rating intellectually, but like in the know-how of what to do, I have more knowledge than 1600 players, I would say, but my execution is poor. My awareness of converting said strat, because I watch Magnus Carlsen games. I watch Fabiano.
For sure.
I watch the candidates. Like, I'm a chess fan as well as a chess player.
Nice.
And I know a lot of theory. Like, if whoever this guy is, Suman Tare or whatever, I would say I know a lot more theory than him. I know a lot of theory. I know a lot of theory in the Dutch. The problem is I never play any of that theory because my opponents never know any of that theory, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like knowing theory isn't really an advantage to me right now, but the higher I go, the more it will become an advantage.
Gotcha.
So I feel like I have those. And even talking to you, I felt confident in my, why are you doing this? Well, I'm doing this because of this principle. Like, I feel like I have the knowledge of those things, but maybe my awareness is kind of low. Whoops. Knowing that I had these 2-pawn, like, okay, Ethan, you have a 2-pawn advantage. Where's your 2-pawn advantage? My awareness of knowing that. So that would say is one thing I took away, is you helped me understand. I'm still missing some of those things, I guess.
Okay.
Another one goes back to like the bishop plan that I failed to execute, and that was due to not calculating. Right? I have this great plan of opening it up, and I don't do it. Right? I don't end up doing it because he plays badly here. He makes mistakes and gives me 2 pawns. Like
right. You can tell this isn't a spectacular move.
Yeah, I know it's a bad move, but I can't punish him. So I feel like that's another thing I want to continue working on. And then end games. I feel like our discussion we had on end games was very helpful for me as well.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think if you already know a lot of theory, and you, from what I understand, you really enjoy learning theory.
Yeah, I do. That's fair.
So that's great, and that's great to hold on to and maintain that, keep doing that. It's going to be really, really good for you. Yeah, but I think like sticking to your plans and calculating your plans, because if you can punish people when they go out of theory, you're going to dominate.
And that's how you do it, is by calculating and then enacting that plan. Which I wasn't really aware of. That's how you punish mistakes. Hold on, I gotta write that down. That's good.
Sure. And so this is what I think is really cool, is when you're looking at your openings, you can see. Wait a second. I can't quite see your screen very well. Do you see how to open the opening explorer and table base? It should be a setting in the bottom right, like below those, just below the moves.
Is it like the 3 lines?
No, try on the other side.
Open explorer.
Oops. Sorry, on the other, underneath the moves still. The far left underneath the moves, not the 3 lines.
Oh, okay.
Is that?
Open explorer and table base. Okay, what do I do with this?
Just click that. Let's see. Here we go. This is great. The top games. How do you learn your theory right now?
I've been watching a guy from the Czech, Hanging Pawns. He's like a
Oh, that's cool.
he's like a 2200 player, and he goes very in depth on. So I have a book. I learned my Sicilian theory from a book, but all this Dutch theory, I've learned from this Hanging Pawns dude, and
Gotcha.
he's very good. Probably too good. Like he's very very good at explaining things. He's got this nice thick Czech accent.
Yeah.
So I watch his instructive stuff, and I have one of those YouTube videos posted in my just general, so you can see that link to where I've been watching.
School Dutch. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I should have watched that before this.
no, it's okay. I just posted it 20 minutes before you got on, so
Oh, nice. Gotcha.
yeah. But yeah, if you want to check out that channel and either say, yeah, this is really good, or maybe you should be watching something else, Ethan. You know, because
Yeah.
I like Gotham Chess. I like Nakamura Hikaru, but they're
Yeah.
just not quite informative enough. You know, I like, what's his name, Adaj Mater or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know who that guy is? He's
Yeah.
I enjoy watching them, but I don't feel like I learn much when I like Gotham has some instructional stuff, but it's really basic, and I think I need the more in-depth theory of why we're doing stuff, and that's why I kind of like this other channel, or John Bartholomew. I need to watch him more often because he's very instructive.
Yeah. I think it's really important is understanding the why behind the moves. Where was I going with that? Because what's your plan in the Dutch? Like, why do you like the Dutch?
Why? So I'll tell you why I like the Dutch. This is interesting. So I love the Dutch. Where can I go? So he played the ready opening, right? I don't know how to
Sure.
play against the ready opening, but I know that the Dutch is good into everything except one e4. So as long as
Okay.
he doesn't play that, I can play the Dutch. And the reason I like that is because up until a month ago or 2 months ago, I was rated 1400. But then I started consistently playing two openings. I played the Sicilian and I played the Vienna. And I didn't care what you played. I played those two systems and that's it. I played the Vienna game
Gotcha.
and the Sicilian. Well, the Sicilian kind of sucks when they open with one d4. The Sicilian's just giving away a pawn. And I would play it regardless, right? Just because I wanted familiarity with this line. Like, when I play the Sicilian, I play a hedgehog. And I just try and get all my pawns on these squares. And my queen over here, right? And I just have this
Yeah.
really strong queenside space. And I was like, man, but every time someone didn't play e4, I had no idea what to do. I know what the King's Indian is. I know what the what's this called? Alekin or whatever? I think Alekin's for e4 though. I don't know. I know that they exist, but I don't know much theory in those lines. So I told myself I need to have an opening that I can play when someone plays this move, right? I can't just
Sure,
start
sure.
with a Sicilian. The Sicilian's meant to undermine e4, right? So I needed a system that I could go to when someone doesn't play e4. And that's why I like the Dutch.
Gotcha.
Now,
Gotcha.
if someone plays e4, yeah, I like the Sicilian. I also really like the Petrov.
Gotcha.
And I only play this if my opponent's quite a bit stronger than me. Because this is really drawish in nature, and that's not really how I like to play. I also really like the French. So,
Wow. Yeah, you've got a lot wider opening knowledge than I do. That's pretty
right,
neat.
but I can't so I have lots of theory, but that knowledge is almost useless, right? Because if we were to sit down and play a game, you'd probably beat me pretty handily, right? And it's just because you calculate and do these things in the mid game that I don't do, right? There's like glaring weaknesses that lead to me losing a winning position, and
Sure, sure.
That's why I really enjoyed this. Is that you made me aware of some things I needed to work on.
Yeah, I think the issue with your openings is the exact same, like the exact same scenario as the game you just played. You say I'm up 2 pawns, so I should be winning. Let's move towards the end game.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with the Sicilian. I go for the hedgehog, so let's push these pawns, develop my queenside pieces, and get to this strong space on the queen side. Then what?
Yeah.
How do you
No,
win with that?
exactly. Yeah. Then I know it
Once,
should
yeah,
be
yeah,
good, but
yeah.
that's funny. Then what? Oh, I don't know. I should be winning.
Right, right. Okay, you're in a winning position. Now win it. Like that sort of thing.
Right.
Um, that's why I wanted to. So I think, um, obviously doing tactics and puzzles will help your calculation and your, you know, tactical awareness. But I think something that I hope you'll enjoy is looking at this game explorer with your openings, because you don't really need to come up with your own original plan in every opening. Um, there are all these top games where an elite super grandmaster has already come up with a plan for you. So what I do when I'm studying an opening, if I picked out, the Dutch, I'd get to this position and say, oh, look at this, Ivanchuk beat Topalov in 2012. Let's see what he did.
Huh.
Or
Yeah, from this exact same position.
yeah.
Yeah, I know who those people are. Yeah, Karpov and Topalov. Holy cow. Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
So, like, you just click on that game, and then what?
Let me
Like, how do I use it?
add it to the study, and then we can.
How are you doing that? You right-click it?
I think you can just click on the game and then view, or oh, insert might be even better. Then we can look at it at the same time if you want.
Okay, yeah. Insert. Okay, I clicked insert, but nothing happened.
Now, if you look at the moves again on the side,
Okay.
we've got the game. Yeah, we've got the game tucked away in there.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh,
So I think this is a
yeah, Lee
pretty
Chess
neat
is
feature.
really cool. I had no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try and scroll through this really fast. I hope you don't mind. This is what I do when I'm looking at an opening, though. Is say I'll try and pick out what black is doing.
He
This
fi-
all looks like just
yeah, he finchettoed the light square, so he had the same idea as me.
yeah. Even yeah. White did not fianchetto, black fianchettoed.
Castle
They went
Queen
castle
side?
queen side.
Wow, what the heck? This game's crazy.
And yeah, I don't know. So maybe this isn't a great game to look at, because this is clearly very complicated.
Yeah, what the heck? He's taking a knight with his queen. Oh my, I would never make that move. Oh wow. Yeah, okay, this is a game that belongs on YouTube. This is a really good game.
I don't even know what to say. So
Wow, and then
Black just
he
win.
he wins the queen because he used the check to get out of the fork. Wow.
holy cow. Well,
Look at
so I was hoping this would just be
we can look at Karpov's game because Karpov doesn't
Okay.
really play like that. He's a very positional player.
oh, that's good. See, I didn't even know that.
Okay, now I have 3. Hold on, I gotta find the position.
I think it might have been a move ago.
E6. Oh yeah, Anatoly Karpov. Oh, he was playing white though when he did it.
Yeah, that's not cool. We want to see
A black win.
a black win. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Karpov beat him by playing this in
Gotcha.
'98. Okay, I'll play around with this. This is cool. Yeah, you're right. I definitely thought. I thought he
Yeah.
was black, but yeah, he won as white.
Yeah. And we didn't. Yeah, the other game, the Topolov Ivanchuk game, that wasn't one where I could understand exactly what black did to win. It looked like white just went for some tactic that didn't quite work or something like that.
And he beat
But
him.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the idea I have for studying openings is find games where someone else has made a plan for you already and look at what they did, you know, see, try and find the positional ideas, not maybe not exact moves, but the general ideas in the position that they use to win.
Right.
That sounds so vague, and I don't know how practical it is. I think it takes a while. But I mean, it might be fun if you've got some time to just try and find some games in the line you like and see how other people have won it.
Huh. Yeah, I might do that. Well, cool. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, this has been great.
Yeah, we'll have to see if it works.
Yeah, or do it again. I think it's I'll let you know how it, I tune into your Twitch stream every now and again, so
Oh, cool.
I'll definitely jump in there and let you know
Yeah.
how it's been going.
Yeah. I hope it works well.
Yeah.
And definitely keep analyzing your games. I mean, I feel like even without me here, you learned a lot without any prompting, just looking at the game. So that was pretty cool. Nice, good work.
Yeah, no, thanks for. I'll definitely So I think I'm gonna upload this on YouTube, and I'll definitely plug your Twitch
Oh,
stream, and I will.
I appreciate it.
I'll give you my Twitch sub. I get my Amazon free Prime thing or whatever.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'll come join one of these days and sub to you, because it comes free in like 2 days or something like that. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
You appreciate that a lot.
yeah, Eric Leonard Chess. All right, this is for YouTube. This is the channel. This is the guy that coached me. He did a great job. So definitely go check
Yeah,
him
we'll
out.
see.
And yeah, appreciate it, man. So
Yeah, no problem. I enjoyed this a lot. I would love to do it again.
yeah, definitely. I'll message you about yeah, maybe doing it again. I don't know, maybe next week, maybe in a couple weeks. I don't know. We'll see what I'm feeling, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. All right, bro. Well, I'm gonna end the video there.